Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is trying to stoke more and more angst, anger, hatred, vitriol. We have seen, let's put up the video, across the country, statues torn down just in the days and weeks following massive riots. Statues defaced. People beaten on. We will show some of that here momentarily. In fact, let's do this. Cut 6. This is the beating of a state senator in Wisconsin, a Democratic state senator in Wisconsin, just in the last couple of days or nights, by so-called protesters that have gone violent. Take a look at this video. This is a state senator.
You leave my phone alone.
Delete it.
Leave my phone alone. They assaulted a state legislator in Wisconsin who happens to be a Democrat. And you know, Nathan Matush, if you could drop in pick 5, because this is a tweet that was put out by Representative or State Senator, it was Representative, not State Senator, Representative Tim Carpenter, supporting Juneteenth and expressing his sentiments here about what was going on and the value of the protest, the value of standing up and speaking out on racial issues. And the tweet says, Juneteenth is a celebration of the liberation of slaves in the U.S., a reminder of the struggle of freedom that justice is not delivered by the signing of a document, but through the commitment of the American people to respect and fight for the rights of others. Celebrate Juneteenth, Freedom Day. He had other rhetoric. He's a Democrat. He's supporting the cause that those rioters, those vandals, those attackers, two, it looked like white women, by the way, who attacked him. He was attacked by those people who ostensibly support the same cause he says he supports. In other words, this vitriol, this hatred, this anger, this violence holds no real bounds. They'll go after blues guitar great Stevie Ray Vaughan and deface his statue. They'll tear down Ulysses S. Grant's statue. They'll tear down the statues of abolitionist leaders who led the fight to remove slavery from this country. And they will beat a state legislator who supports their cause, at least supposedly the cause that they advocate for. As we've talked about on this show, those engaging in violence and property destruction, looting, they're not advocating a cause. They're not serious actors. Now, I bring this all up not in a vacuum today, but to highlight the recklessness of Nancy Pelosi, Democratic Speaker of the House of Representatives, who was on MSNBC, I think, yesterday. And she essentially said that Republicans were responsible for the murder of George Floyd. Take a listen to this.
Now, you've echoed your Democratic colleagues who have said that the Republican bill is, in their words and in your words, unsalvageable. When you were speaking yesterday, you said that Republicans are, quote, trying to get away with murder, actually, the murder of George Floyd. Senate Republicans are demanding an apology for that statement. Will you apologize?
Absolutely, positively not. The fact is, people say, I think you, frankly, in the press have given them far too much credit for a bill that does nothing. They're saying, well, you have your bill, they have theirs. Yeah, our bill does something, theirs does nothing.
Is Tim Scott working in good faith, I guess?
I'm sorry? Well, we would hope
Is Tim Scott working in good faith? Is this a good starting point?
I'm talking about Mitch McConnell. I'm talking about Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell could could open this up again and have an open Judiciary Committee consideration of a bill where they could come together and get something done.
Pelosi, Republicans trying to get away with the murder of George Floyd. What? How does that kind of rhetoric not exacerbate the situation when already you literally have people attacking and destroying and defacing property and lives, people, human beings, supposedly for this kind of cause? And Nancy Pelosi has the audacity to say Republicans are trying to get away with the murder of George Floyd? Last I checked, it wasn't Republicans or Mitch McConnell who had their neck on, their knee on George Floyd's neck, extinguishing the life from him. I don't know, maybe those officers are Republican. That doesn't make them Republicans who did this. Certainly not in a way the Speaker of the House can say, or Mitch McConnell. Headline here, Susan Ferricchio, chief congressional correspondent at the Washington Examiner, reporting, quote, Democrats hope public pressure and civil unrest will force GOP to accept more drastic police reforms. It's not that Republicans are proposing a bill that does nothing. They're proposing a bill that does a bunch of things, just not necessarily what the Democrats want. That's not the same as nothing. And she literally means nothing of value, not just exaggerating the term nothing if you listen to her tone of voice. Chuck Schumer, minority leader in the U.S. Senate, saying, quote, I believe the Republican Party sees the handwriting on the wall. They see the American people feel, and they no doubt see that while the White House is going to succeed in passing a bill, the Senate won't. Or, well, the House is, going to succeed in passing a bill, the Senate won't. Trying to push for his own bill. But what they're doing is building upon the civil unrest running rampant in the streets across this country, especially at nighttime, and using that to push through their agenda and their points in a way that's reckless, and even saying, oh, Republicans trying to get away with the murder of George Floyd. Yeah, that's a great way to help things, Nancy, by basically saying, quite literally saying, Republicans are responsible for the murder of George Floyd. Reckless and irresponsible. Especially when we do have this kind of rampant violence going on. Unacceptable. You just watched a clip from Jimmy at the Crossroads. Don't miss more engaging, intelligent talk. Subscribe to the Jimmy at the Crossroads YouTube channel today. You want to catch our live show. And I love your support.
I got Jimmy at the crossroads, making sense out of no sense. Yeah.
Awesome.